This time on Roadkill Garage, we are body swapping a Chevy and going racing at the Kingman Street Drags. The whole plan here is we're gonna take the old Hot Rod Garage 56 Chevy, which has a junk body, but a mint chassis. And we're gonna take my 56 Chevy and plop that body on this chassis, because this chassis is fully restored and truly mint.
Oh yeah, it looks really nice.
What makes this car really cool is that in 1965, it was an NHRA national champion in the stock class. What the guys at Hot Rod Garage did is they tried to spec this thing just like it was when it won that deal in 1965.
I can tell you, I did yard drive this thing, and those guys, Tony and Lucky, did a really good job because the car drives and starts right up and drives really nice.
Oh, I feel you're only saying that for camera because you know in your heart those guys are a little sketchy around the edges, right?
I don't know. Well, how do we figure out who's right here?
So we're gonna go test drive it. Tony and Lucky are actually pretty good. But I wanna test drive it and find out what might be wrong with it because I think we only need to do the body swap, but you never know. So
Test the car.
All right, okay. You think this meets our exacting Roadkill Garage standards? Oh, wow. It's a little sporty. What was that?
I don't know.
Should we do burnouts or does the transmission explode?
Oh no, the transmission can handle it. You've only got skinny 14-inch tires.
It probably will work. Oh, wheel hop's bad.
Whoa, I thought you put a traction device on it.
I thought so too. Wow, the 265 is pretty spongy.
Wow, this thing is so smooth on the road.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah. Those guys did a good job on the chassis.
Okay, I'm satisfied. How about you?
So far, so good.
And it's pretty good.
Yeah, Fred, my only question is, why does riding around in a 56 Chevy make you feel so good?
It's fantastic.
I know.
Yeah.
This thing's great.
It's gonna be good. So I guess first thing, let's pressure wash the other one to death and roll it in and take it all apart.
All right, sounds like a plan. Get busy.
So this one's a gem, right?
You're gonna bring the gorgeous out in this car right now, right?
It looks terrible, but I'm pretty sure it's rust-free. I mean, we'll find out once we get it all apart, but like this area, the corner or the windshield that's always gone is good.
So you think this is the right body to use? Holy shit. The whole door just fell off.
What did you do?
So this is our good car, right?
These are heavy.
I know.
We're just clearing the interior right now.
This bumper's really rusty.
What is that? That's a bone.
It looked like a skeleton.
It is a skeleton. I don't know what of. Rabbit?
I don't know.
Skeletons freak Dulcich out.
I'm a little wary about getting back inside that car now.
Core support, grill, which is good. I think a 56 looks way better with the grill. Okay, this is a huge moment that actually saves the entire episode because the whole premise was that this body was way better than the black car, and now that it's been stripped in the interior and completely pressure washed, I'd say it's a fact.
Actually, this body turned out to be really good.
Yeah, check it out.
Oh, I know.
Look at that. Mint.
Yeah, it's
Even
amazing.
the spare tire well is not rusted.
No.
And check out the interior. It's only got one rust hole about that big.
Yeah, I gotta say, you really shortcutted your way into a really nice Tri-5 Chevy with this thing.
Oh, and besides, look at the paint job. That is a look you can't pay for anywhere. So I'm really happy because while that black car might look pretty good, especially on camera, trust me, it's junk. It's got patch panels everywhere. It's pretty butchered. But this is a much better starting point.
Yeah, you did good, Freiberger.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
Okay, this is it. We're ready to separate the body from the frame. So Steve's gonna jack it up. We'll put it on stands. I think there's only 6 bolts, and I think we have to disconnect the brake line and the steering column. And after that, we should be able to forklift the body clear off the thing.
That's all it takes?
Maybe a fuel line, but other than that, wow, that junk came apart. Boom, broke it, perfect.
Aha!
So Steve's cursing at the last 2 bolts. I made him do the ones in the trunk because they're the hardest.
You know, this is the last bolt, and it's always the last one that gives you the most trouble. Oh! Come on, bite. For heaven's sake, are you kidding me? In these situations, you don't want to become upset. You go and you get another tool and you do it again.
Feels like off.
Oh, look at that, it's butter. It turned into sheer putty in my hand.
That's it. Body is completely unbolted. Here's what's going on. We completely cleared out the interior and we found out that the floorboards are solid. We got about 2 holes, one about the size of a quarter, one about like a 50-cent piece. I'm gonna live with that. But it does have a lot of pitting, so what I wanna do next is actually protect the whole floor with a rust preventative paint. We're gonna go in and cut in the corners with a brush, and then you can cover big areas pretty fast with a foam roller. It's gonna protect that car for years to come as I leave it in Dulcich's backyard for the entire foreseeable future with the windows down and it gets rained in. It'll still be good. Well, this is it. The paint's drying on the floor of the car inside and it's about to be the end of the black 56 Chev. Let's rip it apart.
I'm okay with it.
All right, hood off.
Yep.
Pull it up so it's not binding on the hinge. There you go. I'm gonna have to have you judge all the sheet metal and tell me like which doors and fenders we should use. Okay. Oh, they're tech screws, look.
A tech screw is lucky zip tie.
Ow, can you fix that?
Okay.
There you go. So we're just gonna leave the core support with this chassis because the whole thing can roll in together, and then we'll put another fender on. Okay, we got the whole front clip off outside, and right now we're starting to gut all the good parts out of this thing, starting with the dash. I pulled like the speaker and just junk because the other car doesn't have it. And soon, neither will this one. Ooh, victory.
Almost out of there.
You're halfway there. So many people are gonna be irritated that we're taking apart this car because of the national event win history, but I assure you, it is garbage. Not unrestorable garbage, somebody will fix it, but not us. It's not working.
We're just dissecting this thing like a surgeon.
I'm not expert over here.
I was just trying to encourage you with an encouraging word.
Yeah, this clamp is holding the clutch pedal on, and it does not want to come off.
Oh, I think what you need is a spreading tool. It may look like it's not big enough.
Pull out. You can do it. Yes.
I got this little thing off. I don't know what that's gonna do.
That was a climactic moment.
Yeah. Now, how do you get the pedal out of there?
You tap it out.
Ah!
Like that.
Look at that, it just practically fell apart in my hands. That is how you take a pedal out. See that? I would call that domination. but you know, I'm just not into that kind of thing. I'm feeling like a boss.
Okay, last thing, we have to go under and make sure there's no muffler hangers attached. Oh, look, this has a new gas tank. Isn't there another new gas tank?
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot the gas tank and the shocks, so more work. Hey, shocker, I found 3 more body mounts, so it was actually held on by 5, not 2. Okay, this thing's ready to roll outside. I think what we should do is pull the other body off the frame and put it down on the dirt, and then take this one off so that we can put it directly on the old frame from the old 56. There you go. I can stop there and let's pad it. Okay, going up. Up, you're picking up the whole car. So something's connected. I wonder if it's those body mounts I missed on the other car. Okay, that one's out. There we go. Let me see if there's anything.
Is it clear?
Yep. That's good. Back her up. If you didn't think you needed a forklift, you were wrong. Look how handy this is. Now we're gonna gut this body off the frame. I think this time I've got all the fasteners off, but you never know. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Forks need to move to your left.
How's it looking?
Good. It's loose. Nothing attached.
Clear?
Clear. Good morning, we are ready to rock and roll. Steve, look at this gleaming Tri-5 chassis.
I know, look, it's mint.
So all credit goes to our shop manager, Kalen, for the complete cleanup on this thing. He wire brushed this to bare metal and painted the whole thing, and everything on this deal is new, from the leaf springs to the bushings to the clutch linkage.
Full exhaust.
Tony and Lucky completely dialed in the engine.
Yeah, it runs really good.
Cool too. So what we're working with here is a 265 cubic inch small block Chevy. So in 1955, the very first small block Chevy was introduced in one of these cars that looks a little bit different, but same car. And it was a 265, but remember they didn't have a spin-on oil filter adapter? And then that came later. I don't know in what year, 57, 56, 58, something like that. I'm not positive. But this is one with a spin-on oil filter. So it's a 265 with a 327 cam in it, which is a little bit hotter, but what's the duration at 50?
192.
195.
195?
Yeah, so it's a lot like a camshaft, only smaller, but still it's kind of hopped up. Aluminum radiator. This is our 3-speed manual transmission. And when these things were factory, they had a mount right here that went to the frame, and the transmission just dangled in the wind. They always broke. These guys upgraded it with a cross member, which is really good. We got pipes, X-pipe exhaust on it, and we have a 410 or 411 gear in the back with a limited slip. So this is gonna be great.
Yeah, overall, I mean, you've got half a car here. The only thing we're missing is the other half.
Yeah, I know.
What are we gonna do about that?
Go get it.
Okay.
Yep.
That's my job.
Okay, good. Great.
Okay, rolling out.
What we're gonna try and do is line it up as best as we can on the frame and at least get the 2 front bolts in it. And then we'll roll it inside the shop and do the rest of the body mounts. Okay, that's as close as we're gonna get right now. Great. Now we just have to get this thing inside and we should be down the road.
We've got the good body on the good chassis and we've rolled it in the shop, and now the real work begins. We've got to mount everything up, make sure everything's perfectly in alignment, get the body bushings in, bolted down solid, front sheet metal, some of the trim, all of the linkages and doodads that make this a functioning driving car. So not too much left. I think we'll be driving this away today.
Battery tray. So nice of Tony and Lucky to get us all these nice reproduction parts. Hey, Dulcich, do you feel guilty that basically Tony and Lucky handled this entire episode except for the body change?
No.
No?
I would frankly prefer if Tony and Lucky handled everything for us all the time.
Okay, we are battery ready.
The gas tank in our good car is not good. It's totally rusted out, fully dented, and fortunately, right here, I've got a brand new gas tank, and I'm just gonna swap them out and get busy. Just as I thought. The nut got jammed up on the undercoating, and now the whole stud is spinning. So that may seem like a dilemma, but I do have a solution. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ramrod a set of vice grips and clasp the stud really tightly and ramrod it off with my impact driver. One down, one to go. The vice grips, they work 60% of the time, every time.
Next job, I gotta remove this generator and install an actual alternator. This thing isn't even working. It's not gonna look as retro cool, I gotta say that, but it's gonna function, unlike this one.
That's exhausting. Sometimes you can just pry it out of the angle. Oh, that came around. This tank, as you can see, is junk, so I'm gonna put it aside for another project. That's one side, that's good enough.
Okay, newfangled alternator in. Steve, you're a dinosaur, but you're okay with the alternator instead of the generator, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good.
I'm a progressive dinosaur.
He says yes.
It appears to be secure.
Okay, Steve, you think we've made huge progress, but I'm ready to go to the list.
Didn't know that we were gonna go to the list already.
So 56, front clip. You have to do the fuel lines in the back. Seats, battery.
Fix dent.
The dent is the least critical thing for us riding and driving, so it's the first thing Steve's gonna do. Watch.
No, I'm gonna complete the fuel system.
And then you're gonna fix the dent.
Yes.
What else?
Wheels and tires. Windshield.
Yeah, the guy's coming tomorrow to do the windshield. All right?
Yeah, basically not much to do.
Right.
Yeah.
There's goals. I keep adding to the list instead of subtracting. For example, Steve needs to cut a hole in the floor for the floor shifter. And then I have to put these seats in. So these are Procar low backs. And we got this big bracket that bolts directly to the floor. We already checked it, it lines up. And then these things have to get sliders attached to them and they bolt to this.
You think the job is done once you tighten the bolts, but you have to make sure you've got the full articulation perfect.
Ooh, glass guy snuck in. Look at that.
Santa's elves, huh?
Nice.
Yeah.
Our old glass had a big old crack in it. This one is sweet.
Actually, I really like having new windshields on all vehicles.
I know. Okay, it's time to be realistic about this. Our plan today is to tow this thing to Arizona where we're gonna be racing at a street race in Kingman. They haven't done it in like 10 years, so it's gonna be pretty cool. So we're not fixing the dent. We gotta put the rear shocks on and then the front end and wheels and tires. Man, we got a lot done last night. The only thing we didn't get to because we didn't have parts yet was install new shocks. Remember we went out and road tested this thing and it had an evil wheel hop problem. Ooh, wheel hop's bad. See this brand new shock? Probably has 30 miles on it. Look at that. Almost no resistance whatsoever. Junk. Here's a really common problem that you have with aftermarket shocks that are just ordered by application instead of custom ordered by length. They're just not right. So here's the blue shock that was originally installed in this car, and it, in my opinion, did not have enough up travel. It only had about that much. But then I bought the aftermarket shock that was spec'd for this car, and it is so short that it won't even fit between the two mounting points. And that's why it's much better to order shocks by length instead of by application. You measure your car and you figure out actually what works. It's usually specified. Like if you go to summitracing.com, it'll tell you the collapsed and extended length of the shock so you can figure it out. You want it at about half travel, maybe a little bit more. So what we had to do is run down to the parts store and come up with this shock, which is like for a BMW application. It had too small of a bushing here. We porked it out with a drill, and it's got the same stud up at the top, and it has just a tiny bit more travel than the blue one. So it's gonna be microscopically better, but good enough for now. Okay, now I can do the top. Shocks on. Grill is a huge moment for me. This is gonna improve the appearance of this thing 1,000%. Okay, good enough. Finally the good part, the Kragers, which are gonna add up to the perfect look on this thing. So in the back, I've got Wheel Vintique's reproduction Tri-5 Chevy wheels, which are 15x7 with 3 3/4 inch back spacing, and they have a Coker Tire Pro Track on it, which is a 275 60/15. Up front, this is a Krager SS wheel in Unilug, and I understand they're about to reintroduce these after they canceled them for a while. And the tire is a Coker Tire reproduction of a BFG, and it's in a size of 640/15. Notice, these are all bias plies, old school. It's gonna look great. And you know what? We are almost out of here. That junk is installed. Drop it down, dull check, we're hitting the road. I think we actually turned this into a great car.
Yeah, and it's as done as it's gonna get before we go to Arizona, so.
It's as done as it's gonna get for years to come.
You think so?
Let's make sure that it actually drives as good as it used to when it was rusty. It's not even the same car now, but it is. It's kind of weird.
I know. Same car, but only better.
I can't wait to drive it. Ready?
Yeah, let's go.
That problem hasn't gone away.
No. Fry burger. There you go.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. We are
That's a road test?
Yeah.
Out of the shop and onto the trailer?
good to go.
Well, you know what? I trust it, Freiburger.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
All right. So the 56 drove pretty good.
I know.
It's not registered or insured at all. So I figured that we would tow because we're going all the way to Arizona.
Yeah.
So we're in the...
Not like we haven't done that before.
Well, it's true. So where we're going is Kingman, Arizona, right on Route 66. And they used to do a street drag race there, and it was been dark for 10 years. They haven't done it, and this is the first year that it's back. And so we got permission to run our clapped out 56 Chevy.
Awesome, man. That's cool.
This is way more hardcore than I expected. Did you see some of these race cars?
Oh, I know. We're in, but I don't know. We're not really that official, are we?
No, we're not official, but they're gonna let us make a run anyway. It's gonna probably be the slowest thing that they see out here. We're gonna be weak in comparison, but nonetheless, we're living the life. We built this thing in 4 days. We're about to go down the track on Route 66.
I can't wait to see you make a pass.
I know, I'm just gonna granny shift this thing.
Oh.
I'm really worried about the wheel hop. It's gonna break the trans or something.
Yeah, and the transmission's not particularly strong to begin with, that Saginaw 3-speed.
Thanks for the reassurance,
Yeah.
buddy.
All right, here we are. Freiburger's at the burnout box. I'm kind of curious because I wanted to look at the rear end. We were getting pretty bad wheel hop on this car. We have changed the shocks, and that might help. but time will tell. We'll just find out here in a minute when he does this burnout. Man, I'm looking forward to see what happens here. He says he's gonna take it easy, but I don't believe him. Once that thing lets go and loses traction in the water, all bets are off. Oh. We got a little bit of smoke. It didn't look like it wheel hopped at all, though. So here we go. This isn't gonna take long. All right, Freiberger's rolling into the beans stage. I'm looking at the tree. He's pre-staged now. All right, he's staged. So it's gonna be the countdown. He's up. Look. Oh! He slept on the tree and bogged! Freiberger, what are you doing?
Bog's bad. Well, that's gonna be terrible. It bogged like crazy. I gotta get more RPM. At least you still have oil pressure and cool water.
Dude, that was weak.
It bogged bad.
What happened? That was so weak.
Well, I was so worried about the wheel hop that I just left it low RPM.
It didn't
and
even
it
wheel
bogged.
hop on the burnout. The burnout wasn't wheel hopping.
No, but I thought it might on the line with traction.
And then, man, you were just sleeping on the tree and granny shifting. Come on, Freiberger, drive the car.
Sleeping on the tree does not affect the ET.
Yeah. Well.
Yep, no, I was trying to set the RPM, but I obviously just left way too low. We'll go again.
I'm expecting a lot more this time, David.
I know.
My God, I want you to race that car.
Okay.
All right, this is going to be Freiberger's second run here, and I'm going to tell a lot about his attitude when I see this burnout. I want him to just give it hell because, there we go.
Oh, that wheel hop.
All right, we're back at the lights. He's staged. This is going to come down quick. I think he might just let the tree go. Oh, man, that thing is so slow.
There we go, that's gonna be better, but man, the wheel hop is hideous. But you know what? We just did the Kingman Street Drags. I am super happy. This thing isn't fast at all, but it is just a cool, feel-good car. I love it. Maybe someday we'll make it better, and if we do, you will see that on Roadkill Garage.